Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of Over the Top Talk. And today, me and Anthony are going to be breaking down and talking about who will take down every single current champion in WWE.
Yes, sir.
Now, just to kind of throw this out there, this is excluding NXT, just so this video isn't hours long. And, myself, I'm not really too familiar with NXT. So we decided to just ultimately just keep it out. But
hmm
just before we start, make sure to follow us on all of our platforms, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're pretty much everywhere you can find our podcast. So, and if you're watching on YouTube, drop a like and make sure to subscribe. And let's get
Yep.
right into this, starting with WWE Tag Team Champions right now, the Street Profits.
hmm
I'll hand this to you.
Well, we know that they're great champions, right? We love the Street Profits. They've been in for a win for a long time now. But I believe they are going to be dethroned by Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, the newest NXT call-ups, the newest tag team the old NXT tag team champions. They ruled NXT forever. No one was pinning them. I think they're going to have a dominant run on the main roster, and I think sooner than later they are going to lose the championships to them. Hopefully within the next few months. But that is my prediction.
Yeah, and I think I would have to agree with you. Obviously, SmackDown, we got a lot of tag teams, more than, Raw, which we'll talk about in a second.
hmm
Like you said, I would like to see a newer tag team win, not have it always be like the same, three tag teams that we usually see. Um, I don't know when this is going to be because we usually never see these titles ever defended.
Yeah.
Besides when it's like a SmackDown before a huge event, but kind of moving to the Raw side with the New Day, we've seen them take on the Viking Raiders probably like 100 times now.
hmm
To be honest, the only issue with the Raw is the tag teams aren't really, there's not really like a lot of them. I think we have like Otis. Um,
hmm
I don't know why I'm blanking on names right now, but
Yeah, it's good. We know.
um,
Yeah.
that's how light that division is. But
Yeah.
ultimately, these titles might honestly just go back to the Viking Raiders if I'm.
hmm Well, I got two predictions here. Actually three, because I'm gonna include them. I think the War Raiders, that would be the lazy option in my opinion, just giving them the titles back. No one really wants to see that. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like the War Raiders. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't know why. I'm just not. My second prediction would be if there is a new member of the Judgment Day. We saw Finn bring out Roxanne today. Nobody looked too happy about it. So I could see Dominic trying to get retaliation, kind of bringing his own new member. Um, and maybe they go on to win tag team gold or whatever. But what my real prediction is, what I think wholeheartedly is that new Seth Rollins faction, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, I think they're gonna eventually go after tag team gold once they get a third member. And I think they're gonna take out the New Day. That's my prediction.
Yeah, and kind of moving to our, United States champion for the women's side, Zelina Vega. I'll let you go first.
Um, well, we know Zelina Vega, her run of champion is still pretty new. She just won it recently. I don't know yet who could possibly dethrone her. If I had to guess, have any prediction, I think they might give it to a newer call up. Um, as of right now, the newest member of the SmackDown roster is Julia. I don't really see her going after that yet. Um, I hope they don't give it right back to Chelsea Green, personally. But I really don't have a lot right now to go off of. So I think from my answer, it's going to be very, very far fetched somehow, some way. I think it might be like Naomi or something. I think they might give her a mid card title to kind of run with that for a little bit. I don't know how we're going to get there to point A to point B, but I think she's going to carry that, build her heel persona for a while, and then when she's ready for championship gold, I know she's ready now, but I think they're going to let her kind of develop this character and then go after like Tiffany Stratton if she still has the belt.
Yeah, and obviously this is like, um, I feel like they kind of use these titles, kind of try to throw them on, smaller stars at the moment, people who haven't won, championships. But I don't know if the only person I could see, I don't even know if she's on the SmackDown roster, is maybe like Natalia, maybe. But then
Yeah,
again, I
she's on
don't
Raw.
really, yeah.
Yeah,
See, yeah, that's the issue with this title is it's so like I don't know. We
yeah.
saw it go on Chelsea Green. Now it's on Selena Vega. Two kind of superstars who were kind of like smaller. Um,
Hmm.
maybe throw even like Piper Niven. Maybe
Yeah.
I can't see it going on like I don't know, like a bigger star name. But
Hmm.
maybe I'll be wrong on this. So just to
Yeah.
kind of throw out a name, Piper Niven. I wish Natalia was on SmackDown because I feel like this would kind of be the perfect
Yeah.
title to
I agree.
throw on her. But maybe with that, actually just go right into the women's intercontinental title. Now that
Hmm.
I have my facts straight and Natalia's on Raw, I could see her possibly winning this title.
Yeah. Well, my prediction was Becky Lynch. I thought she was gonna win this title. Um, but now that Lyra beat Becky Lynch, I don't know where this goes. It kind of seems like Becky and Lyra are gonna run this back again after tonight's Raw. They seem to be fighting. So I still am gonna lock that in. I still think Becky Lynch is gonna eventually dethrone Lyra.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I honestly thought she was gonna win it the first time. So if they do end up having a match, yeah, Becky Lynch is another option. Um,
Hmm.
to move to stay on the woman's side of things with the women's champ, we have Tiffany Stratton.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's like a couple options here. I don't think she's gonna lose it to Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I could see her honestly maybe losing to like maybe not Naomi, Jade Cargill. We
Hmm.
definitely see that as an option. Naomi's another option. Um,
Hmm.
I think whoever wins, Money in the Bank's right around the corner. Usually we say, this is gonna be a cash in. Last
Hmm.
time there was a cash and it was on the women's champ, so I don't know if they're gonna change things up and have whoever wins it this time go after the world champ.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll throw out Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I think with you there, I think I have to agree. I think it's going to be Jade Cargill. And to kind of add on that a little bit, I think that's going to feed into the eventual Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair story that we might see at like a SummerSlam. So I could definitely see that happening.
And moving to the women's world champ, we have Io Sky. Once again, a couple options. You have, Rhea, who's always lurking around the division, seems to always find herself in title matches. You obviously have Bianca Belair too.
Hmm.
Now you have like the newer call ups like Roxanne.
Hmm.
If I were to make a prediction right now, maybe it would be Bianca Belair, but I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah. I think Io Sky's championship is going to be the one that's going to be involved with the Money in the Bank. I think she's going to get cashed in on by whoever wins that. I feel like Tiffany Stratton has too much going for her right now. I know that would be kind of a full circle moment because Tiffy won her belt by a cash in. So if she lost her belt by a cash in, that would be kind of like a full circle thing. But I feel like they want to build her up even more than just to get cashed in on. So I think EO, I don't know who it's going to be yet, but after the dust has settled from Money in the Bank, I think we're going to know who is going to go after EO Sky.
Yeah, moving to the men's, we get the Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio right now, and um, I would honestly like to see maybe Penta. I feel like that's a perfect title for Penta to
Hmm.
win. Obviously, we saw them kind of go at it one on one, but
Yeah.
obviously those interference. Penta's kind of got his own thing right now with um,
Hmm.
El Grande Americano, but I think Dominic's gonna have the title for a decent amount of time, and I think we
Hmm.
will see Penta dethrone him at some point.
Yeah, I actually got two predictions. What I think. I think Penta is a really great option. He's actually one of my predictions here. But another one I have is actually Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor, we know the turn is coming very, very soon, and I could possibly see Finn dethroning Dom for the belt. But I think I'm more inclined to think it's going to be Penta. I think that's going to be his first championship he wins in the WWE. So let's lock that in.
And kind of moving on to the other, mid tier title, I guess you can call it. The United States champion right now, Jacob Fatu. Um, right now,
Hmm.
I really can't see anyone, but um, I think ultimately maybe Solo takes it from him.
Hmm.
We know like, Solo kind of has that new group going on. Kind of been seeing them start to show shades of Solo turning on Jacob. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like Solo might take the title from him, whether it's interference or
Hmm.
wherever that storyline ends up going. But yeah, I'll lock in Solo.
Yeah. As we know, Solo's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think he's gonna win, obviously. But like we were saying, he has Jeff Cobb, now known as JC Mateo, in that new little group they got going on. I know Tamatonga and Tangaloa are both out injured. I don't know when they're gonna be back. I don't know if they're gonna stay with that group or if they're gonna also leave solo, maybe go join Jacob. But you're right. There's not a lot to go off of. Jacob is just so dominant in the ring that the person that dethrones him has to be of equal caliber, in my opinion. And I don't think Solo is that. Um, I could see it happening as kind of like a way for Jacob to just absolutely destroy him. Uh, Maybe like we see a triple threat match come in with somebody. It's Solo, Jacob, and somebody else, or a fatal four way, and Solo gets a quick pin on someone for the belt, and that just sets off Fatu. But I I guess right now I have to agree with you. There's not much to go off of, so I'll say Solo as well, but that could very well change soon.
And to move on to our, kind of the main titles in WWE right now, we'll start with Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion. And honestly, I feel like there's only like maybe one or two real people who could.
Yeah.
Kind of one that's, just to throw out there, maybe, Sami Zayn. I don't think
Hmm.
he's gonna dethrone him, but I feel like that's a name you kind of have to just throw out there just to, if it happens, it happens. I think the
Hmm.
real one though would probably be Seth Rollins. He has that new group starting up. I think we're gonna see a third member. And I think Seth Rollins will find himself with that title once again. Obviously, he
Yeah.
hasn't had a title in a little bit now, and now that he has this new group formed, I feel like you kind of need to put a title on him. Um, and
Yeah.
most of the time with these, heavy set groups, the main leader usually has a title around him. So I think Seth
Mhm.
Rollins is my pick for this.
Yeah, my prediction, I've had this for a while now. I could see Sami Zayn very well qualifying for Money in the Bank and winning the whole thing. If him turning heel and then cashing in on Jay, I could very well see that. I don't think he's gonna beat him in a one-on-one match. I think Rollins is a good answer. You know, I could just see Braun Breaker and Rollins just overpowering Jay to the point where he just can't fight anymore. He just gets stomped, and then loses the belt. But I'm honestly gonna stick with Sami Zayn for this one. I'm gonna stay with my prediction. I feel like it's just my gut reaction, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and to move on to our final champion, the main champion, I feel like in WWE right now, we have John Cena on his retirement tour, facing all sorts of legends, superstars. I feel like it will ultimately just end with Cody Rhodes dethroning him
Hmm.
just because, kind of Cody Rhodes is kind of, whenever he returns, he's kind of like the superhero, I guess you can say, trying to save WWE from Cena trying to ruin it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can throw out CM Punk as one too. We saw him post that Instagram story about how he
Hmm.
wants to fight Cena, but I think just to not really overthink it, I think I'm gonna have to go with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that too. You know, we saw Cody get kind of screwed over at Mania, with obviously Travis Scott, and then Cena using the belt to hit him with it. But I think Cody is gonna get his redemption, and maybe I hope this doesn't happen. You know, it was pitched that Cena and Travis Scott were gonna be in a tag team match together. Um, so I don't I don't know. I really don't want to see that. But I gotta agree with you here. I think Cody is gonna come back stronger than ever, and he's gonna eventually put down Cena, win the belt back, and that's gonna kind of lead us to John Cena returning to being a face.
Yeah, we got a lot of, pay-per-views. We have about 7 months, or less than 7 months now, until Cena ultimately has his last match.
Yeah.
Um, Lots of champions or championships are probably going to change this
Hmm.
year. Obviously, these predictions are, just kind of throwing them out there. But for everyone watching, make sure to follow us. As always, we're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you can find the Over the Top Talk podcast. Will probably be on that social media app.
Yep.
All links, as always, will be put in the descriptions of the Spotify and YouTube. If
Hmm.
you're listening, make sure to drop a like on our Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to drop a like and subscribe down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. And, as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.